Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Devin Strader breaks silence, wants to share his truth. Devin Strader is finally breaking his silence on the drama involving his breakup with Bachelorette Jen Tran. He has kept quiet until now. However, after not saying anything, he feels it's important to clear up a few things and share his truth. In no way did he want to devalue Jen, but he felt it was important to get the correct information out there. He shared multiple screenshots of texts between him and Jen throughout his 13-minute-long video. What did he have to say? Keep reading to find out more. Devin Strader speaks out. Devin Strader has not been a very well-liked man in Bachelor Nation over the past week. It was announced on After the Final Rose that he ended his engagement to Bachelorette Jen Tran over the phone instead of in person. However, he is now sharing that there is more to the story. He even has receipts to back it all up. Devin began his long video by saying, "I know there are plenty of people upset with me right now." He went on to say he wants to share his side of the story, apologize for a couple of things, and take accountability for some of his own actions. He also said he had no intention of denouncing Jen or saying anything bad about her. Devin did say his main intent was to clear up a few rumors and show that a relationship is two-sided. He admits to not being perfect in the relationship. However, he feels there are some false narratives circulating about him. Their breakup. Devin Strader also dished more on their breakup. He said that he did want to end things in person, but she didn't let him. He went on to say, "There's a lot of false statements being given out. I'm really here to set the record straight, and hopefully I can do that by providing a little bit of clarity into the day-to-day lives that Jen and I experienced while we were together." He also shared that they did do counseling, and for some unknown reason, she fired their original therapist. Her only answer to that was she didn't like her. Devin shared tons of texts between them while also noting this was not every single text they shared. However, the texts proved not everything is as it seemed. More than anything, Devin wants to defend his own character and put the truth out there for all to see. The long video can be seen below. Many fans aren't buying it and are very upset with him for blasting their private messages all over the internet. For months, Devin Strader had been the enigmatic figure in a story swirling with rumors, gossip, and speculation. His name had become synonymous with mystery, and in his absence, whispers grew louder. What was once admiration for his talents and hard work slowly morphed into questions, accusations, and headlines that told a story that wasn't his. But today, Devin Strader was ready to take control of his narrative. Today, he was finally ready to speak. The sun had barely risen on what promised to be a pivotal day in Devin's life. Sitting in the modest but meticulously arranged space that he now called home, he felt the weight of the silence that had, for so long, defined his existence. It was a silence that had cost him friendships, opportunities, and even parts of himself. But that was the past. Today, Devin would share the truth that had been hidden beneath layers of misinterpretation and misunderstanding. He opened the window, letting in the fresh breeze, as if symbolically inviting clarity and openness into the room. In front of him, a small camera sat on a tripod, a red light blinking steadily. This was the tool through which he would connect with the world once more, not through the filters of the media or the opinions of strangers, but directly, raw, and unfiltered. His truth in his words. Devin cleared his throat, running a hand through his disheveled hair. The nerves were undeniable. His fingers trembled slightly, though he tried to steady them. He knew there would be no turning back after this. For too long, he had been the ghost in the narrative, the one who never got to tell his side of the story. But now, as he pressed record, he was stepping into the light, no longer content to remain in the shadows. "Hey, everyone," he began, his voice low, a bit rough from disuse. "It's me, Devin. I know it's been a while, and I know there's been a lot said about me, about who I am, what I've done, and why I've stayed silent. Today, I'm here to tell you the truth. My truth. He paused for a moment, gathering his thoughts. Where to start? How do you unravel a web of lies and half-truths spun over months? His mind raced back to when it all began. The first blog post that twisted his words, the tabloid article that painted him as the villain in a story he wasn't even aware he was a part of. I never wanted to be famous, he continued, the sincerity in his voice cutting through the room. I didn't ask for the spotlight. All I ever wanted to do was create, to make things that people could connect with. But somewhere along the way, things got out of hand. The fame, the attention. It was overwhelming. I lost sight of myself. Devin spoke with a measured calmness, though the emotions beneath his words were palpable. He had been known as the rising star, the prodigy who seemed to have it all. But what no one saw were the struggles that came with that success, the isolation, the pressure, the constant scrutiny. I made mistakes, he admitted, his voice softening. I'm not perfect. No one is. But the way things spiraled, the way my life became this soap opera for people to pick apart, it wasn't fair. I didn't deserve that. And the people closest to me didn't either. He sighed, the weight of everything pressing on him. Devin had always prided himself on being open with his fans, on connecting with them in a genuine way. But somewhere along the line, the lines between truth and fiction had blurred, and his life became a story written by others. I stayed silent because I didn't know how to handle it, he confessed. I thought if I just disappeared for a while, if I let things cool down, it would all blow over. But that's not what happened. Instead, my silence became an invitation for others to speak for me. The rumors had been relentless. Every day brought a new headline, a new theory about where he was, what he was doing, and why. Some claimed he had run away, unable to face the consequences of his actions. Others painted him as a tragic figure, broken by the pressures of fame. But none of them had it right. I wasn't running away, Devin said, his voice gaining strength. I was trying to heal, to find myself again. And I know that sounds cliché, but it's the truth. When you spend so much time being someone else's version of you, you forget who you are, and I needed to remember. There was a long pause as he looked down, his fingers fiddling with the edge of his shirt. This was harder than he thought it would be. But he had to keep going. He owed it to himself and to those who had stood by him. The truth is, I've been through a lot these past few months. He continued, his voice softer now. More than I ever thought I could handle. And I've had to face some pretty dark parts of myself. But I'm still here. I'm still standing. And I'm ready to move forward. Devin leaned forward slightly, his gaze steady and direct. I'm not perfect. I never will be. But I'm trying. I'm learning. And I want to thank the people who never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself. Your support means more than you'll ever know. As he neared the end of his message, Devin felt a strange sense of relief. This wasn't the end of his story, but it was a new beginning. He had taken the first step in reclaiming his narrative, and that, in itself, was a victory. I don't know what the future holds, he said, offering a small, genuine smile. But I do know one thing. I'm going to live it on my own terms. No more hiding. No more letting others define me. This is my truth, and I'm finally ready to share it. With that, Devin reached out and pressed the button to stop recording. The camera light blinked off, but the weight that had hung over him for so long had lifted. Today, Devin Strader had broken his silence, and from this moment on, the world would hear his truth.